Hey guys, Micah from Black Bear Custom Kydex. I have a video for you today on some sheets that I just completed for Julian, a local customer of mine. He dropped by the Army Barracks store here in Scarborough, Maine, and they referred him to me for some sheath work. So we have sheaths for the Mora Companion, the Mora Bushcraft. Actually, I'm not sure, this might be the Bushcraft Black. I'm not terribly familiar with them, so if any of you know the difference, please let me know. And we've got a couple axes. Let me see. Well, I'm not sure exactly. I know one of them is a Gransfors Bruk, and the other one I'm not sure. I think it might be as well. But anyway, without further, oh, sorry, it's a Hults Bruk. All right, so let's get into it. Start with the knives real quick. So the Companion, just a simple sheath, got the logo stamped on there, and this is for Julian's wife Heather, who wanted something that would be sturdy, could be worn potentially with or without a belt, and has an Exotac fire rod attached. So let's see, back here it seems like you can see the color a little better on my screen. So alright, so the color I use for this is called Whiskey Texture Kydex, and it is one of the faux leathers, but you can see it's got a slightly different texture to the Raptor finish, which is what I used on the axes. So let me just compare those real quick so you can see the difference. See, he wanted the kind of brown leather look for all of these. So on the knives I used Whiskey, and on the axes I used brown Raptor. So, alright, let's check out the fit. It's got a nice little click going in. It's very secure. It's not rattling around. And it's got kind of a ballistic one-handed draw there. I am doing it with my new style of thumb ramp. And let's take a quick look at the fire steel on here. It's an Exotac fire rod. And now that I'm checking it out, you might want to rock it with the handle this way, Heather, in case you're seeing this. Just because it'll pull out a little easier without scuffing on the bottom of your handle. So I'm just going to leave it in there like that. Alright, one more time. Nice one-handed draw. And a little click going back in. Alright, next up we've got the Mora Bushcraft, or potentially Bushcraft Black. And similar setup. Julian, if you're not familiar with the sheaths for this, it originally comes with a fire steel connected to the top of the Bushcraft sheath, the factory sheath. So I used this same fire steel, and he asked me if I could do an integral fire steel loop, meaning the fire steel loop would be actually a part of the sheath itself, like part of the same piece of Kydex. So I tried some different things out, and I wound up just going back to my old, attaching another loop for it, because it just didn't turn out to be as sturdy as I would want it to be, and I don't want to give anything out that's not going to be as strong as it should be. So long story short, that's why we have the fire steel attached the same way as we normally would on something that was asked to be a little bit different. But he also asked for a nylon belt loop, because he doesn't want leather getting waterlogged or anything. And even though I do waterproof my leather, there's only so much moisture it can take. Eventually it will start to let water in if you don't constantly upkeep it with, reproofing it with snow seal or something of that sort. So nylon on here. And he asked for snaps as well, so that he'd be able to take it on and off his belt without having to remove the belt. So got a couple snaps on there. Alright, so there's that guy, and I attached it pretty similarly to how I do my leather danglers. Just a little, I don't even know what you want to call it, just a dangler adapter plate is what I always call it. But so there we have that. And you can see I did a little bit of more complex profiling on this one as far as the shape. I didn't do a straight line across all the way. Obviously I've got this fin here, and it actually hooks down slightly at the nose as well. So if you're looking at this fire steel and thinking that it's crooked, it is, but it's by design, because the handle on this Mora fire steel is quite large. So I wanted to make sure it had clearance going out in any direction. So whether or not you leave it sideways with maximum clearance under that tab there, or if you turn it upright, I just want it to be easy access all the time. So we got that. And of course, Julian, if you're watching, you obviously can turn it the other way, but it's not going to fit too well in there, so I wouldn't recommend it. I'd definitely go with the handle close to the mouth of the sheath. Alright, let's check out the knife fit in there. It's got a click going in, and just so you guys know, this Mora in general has a soft, really soft handle. So anything with like a really soft rubberized handle, I always do the sheath a little bit looser. Now that said, it's not rattling. It's not like loose. It's certainly not going to fall out, but I don't want the same level of grip around these rubber handles because it will damage the handle pretty quickly, actually. So I still got a little dust in there. So that's why I've got just a little bit looser. Not that you can tell on camera, but when it's looser, you're going to have less of a click too. So very, very light click going in, but you can definitely do a one-handed draw with it, and that's what's most important, I think. So all right, so that's that guy again, new thumb ramp style on there. And then the axes. All right, so the axes, Julian asked for something that would cover pretty much just the cutting edge of the blades themselves, and then have possibly a cord to just help keep it all on there. So the way I have it set up, the Kydex itself is enough to stay on it, and it's not super tight. You can kind of wiggle them off pretty easy. So it would be fine without the cord, obviously, since you definitely have to intentionally remove the Kydex, but I put the cord on there as just a double safety measure, and I kind of created this little hourglass shape for easy thumb hold or finger hold, whatever you want to call it, so you can manipulate the cord as you will. And so that's pretty much the sheath for it, but he also wanted a carry system for it so he could throw it on either his pack with molly locks or maybe even his belt. So here's what I came up with. So for the large axe, we have a fixed loop like this, and all you do is you connect these large molly locks to molly webbing or even on your belt, and then you just force the bottom of the handle through and it rides like so. So it's nice and simple. It is going to rattle a bit because the bottom of the handle is wider than the top, so the loop obviously has to be big enough for the bottom to pass through, which means it's not going to be tight on the top. However, with something this big, you're obviously not going to be worrying about it falling out. I mean, you could dump it upside down, it'll still catch in that loop. So I'm not too worried about that. And it is reversible as well. If you wanted to orient it the other way, you could take the screws out, turn the molly locks the other way, and ride it with the blade forward. So that's what we got for the large axe. And for the small one, we have a slightly different setup. It's the same concept. You can see two small molly locks on there, but on this side you can see I left the loop open. Why? Because it is a lighter axe, and the way that I've got this .125, that's 1/8 of an inch, 0.125 thickness Kydex on here. It really does hold it securely. I was going to do a loop originally, but I decided that this would be a cool concept because the other thing is hatchet's a little bit more utilitarian than the full-on axe. So if you do want to just carry this on your belt and grab it off quick, you have the option. All you have to do is just twist it and it comes out. You can twist it in either direction, forward or backward. And how you get it back in there is you just kind of force the metal section. You can go down lower, but when you go up, I don't know how well you can see, but this metal stands off a bit right here and it'll scrape the inside of the Kydex. Not a big deal, but if you want to keep the Kydex from getting scraped, all you got to do is sort of force the metal into the top there, just sort of twist it in. So it really does hold it strongly, pretty securely. So it rattles around a little bit, but it's not going to fall out. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got for you on that. And same thing with the sheath itself. It's got one of these guys with finger holds, and the sheath itself you just muscle off like so. Nice and easy. So let me show you one more time, a quick look here. It's the only thing about the finger hold with this one is you kind of got to move it out of the way. Alright, one last look at everything here. Logo branded on both sides of both hatchets, both axes, and the knives. So, alright guys, if you like these sheaths, if you like this video, go down and hit that like button. And if you like my channel in general, I ask you to subscribe to it if you haven't already done so. Hit that bell one time if you want to receive notifications when I upload a video, and feel free to comment down below and share this with all your friends. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and stick around for the next one. God bless.